they hired a full-time employee that actually was embedded and immersed and was an employee anchored at Pattonville School District. Still to this day, we have a strong educational partnership with Pattonville because they served for many years as our fiscal agent when in 2009, we became one unified St. Louis School Business Partnership. So for many years, these two partnerships did the exact same thing. If we had a career fair, the other one did a career fair. And as a business person with BJC, I was doing 2 career fairs within 2 weeks. The same thing that would happen when we would have a leadership academy or we were doing jobs fairs, we were always doing the same thing. What was happening is that businesses were dwindling off. Businesses aren't going to come to the table if there's not an ask or a strategy or a plan behind how is it that they can help move the educational outcome and the ultimate goal, which is the goal of getting young people graduated from high school and have interest and passion of some career path, not a profession, but a career path, and how can the business help with that journey. So after literally 2 years, 2007, we started the conversation. It took 2 years. At that point, St. Louis Public Schools had already merged with the Southwest School Business Partnership. So they were part of Southwest. St. Charles started their own school business partnership, which still is in existence today. It is out of their economic development committee. So we jointly formed and actually changed our name to become the St. Louis School Business Partnership. We welcome anyone. We welcome Jefferson County folks. We welcome St. Charles folks to become a member. And a member is 2 types. It is a paid membership. For 2 individuals, representatives from your organization, a general membership this year is $50. Normally it's $100. That's because we have decreased our amount of networking events. So the $50 for 2 members, every time you go to an event, you're going to be immersed with some sort of industry. You will have a highlight and you will always be fed and have a good opportunity to network. The sponsorship level is actually an opportunity for you to bring 5 representatives from anywhere. I will tell you, we have one coming up in November. I am bringing 5 construction industry folks, not from Construction Forum. We only have 3 employees, but I'm bringing 5 other individuals that I am trying to recruit to become a member. And so that was my push for Tim Lukey in the back with STL Caps to have him because he is a sponsor. STL Caps is a sponsor. As Brett alluded to, every sponsor, which is $250, 100% of those funds goes towards a scholarship for a youth. So if you are a member, a school district or an organization is a member, your students then are eligible to apply for the scholarships that we have, and we celebrate that at the end of the year in May. So those are our 2, general membership and then the sponsorship, which then goes to, like I said, the scholarship. We literally are open to everyone. We have 3 individuals, 3 districts that are coming from St. Charles. We have several school districts that come from Jefferson County. We make every effort to make sure that we don't stay in one section of our region. We rotate. So we'll probably be, we will be in Tower Grove in November. We will be moving out in the county and then shifting potentially down in the south area. Our focus is aligning our mission. You heard Tanisha talk about youth engagement, working with business partners, helping them be able to bring that experience. Jennifer Irvin with BJC, I had the pleasure of, she was part of my team. The advanced manufacturing, Boeing, all of those companies for Tanisha is to align a young person with the industry. The same thing for JD. While she is in higher ed or the non-traditional student, her goal is to align what her efforts are, which is she needs to get those individuals connected with an industry. So she connected with BJC and now has connected with Construction Forum and is partnering with the Painters Apprenticeship Program. The same thing with Brett with the community college, the amount of programs and connectivity from high school beyond. Obviously, it's great to have the community college involved. So with that, our shared mission, I will say just this past summer, and I'm sorry, Kevin, it's not working again. If you can advance, please, just to that. We do have a new mission statement, and our mission statement is not necessarily what you have on that card. There's a couple words that have been changed, and it's actually create a collaboration between industry, education, community to share their expertise, leverage the resources, and engage youth to meet the ever-changing workforce needs of the greater St. Louis region. So I guarantee you, you're probably thinking, there are probably 5 different words in that mission statement that align with your mission statement of your school district or your agency. Engaging youth, creating opportunities for information for youth, and how can we create stronger collaborative opportunities to be able to bring the industry together to have that conversation. So this is our current board as of today. Kevin Andert is our president with Special School District. We have John DeWall as our secretary with Melville School District. JD, Tanisha, all of us are part of the board. And you guys can certainly read the rest. Tim is on our board.
That's white.
Next slide, please.
There. I like your tablets, but that's not.
So what we thought that we would do is, and actually provide an opportunity for you to ask questions as well. Because we all talk about the importance of a school business partnership. How do you create the partnership? You heard at the luncheon and then at the panel, it's all around trust and relationships. I will tell you, we definitely stay true to our mission. We do not mission drift. At one point, we provided direct service for students, but then it became very challenging because transportation and some other barriers that bubbled up to the surface, such as we can only bring 10 students. So what we did is that we reversed our mission, if you will, and at that point really targeted to provide that education, awareness, and information to those that provide and lead that instruction back at their institution. So it's an opportunity to get experts, if you will, in that particular industry, to then be front and center with you to be able to help figure out an innovative, collaborative partnership that might work for you, that might work for you, and that might work for you. And the gentleman in the back, they already work with us. So what we're going to do, I'm going to turn it over to Brett. He's going to lead everyone, and everyone will get a chance to answer these questions and to be able to talk about how and why the organization or themselves got interested.
Okay, so the first question here, and I'm going to then have JD and Tanisha answer these and then go from there. How and why did your organization get involved? So we'll start with JD and she can answer that.
Okay. So prior to becoming the director of the Excel Center, I was a science teacher in Hazelwood School District and then taught Project Lead the Way, and then I retired from public education in 2014 and did some work with Project Lead the Way and Missouri S&T, and through that opportunity, I got to come to St. Louis School Business Partnership meetings and networking events. And so when I had experienced it, but for a different purpose. And so when I became the director, I knew that the opportunities that would be there for the networking, since my students are non-traditional and the goal is really the career goal or the employment goal after graduation, I knew that this was a place for me to be able to find and meet people that I could get my students in touch with. And so that was my reason.
I did not know you were a teacher. I didn't know JD was a teacher. I was also a teacher in St. Louis Public Schools. And And so my students started graduating from 8th grade, and then they were going to high school, and I was really interested in what decisions they were going to make for their post-secondary choices. So I joined Dr. Bender's Office of College and Career Readiness in St. Louis Public Schools. And I heard everybody asking, like, are you going to go with us to the St. Louis School Business Partnership meeting? And I had no idea what it was. I went and ended up having a really good conversation with an organization that was helpful to students. Then when I went to Ferguson Florissant, it was almost like it was meant to happen because Dr. Muhammad, who is in the room, Dr. Muhammad asked me if I knew about the School Business Partnership. And so I was able to go to an event with him and have good conversations with him about what our connections meant. And then when I came to Nine Network, it just seemed like a natural progression to stay with the partnership because of the connections I had made and how helpful it was in the past.
So we have some other board members in the room, so maybe I'll pick on John here. Why did you guys get involved in the School Business Partnership?
So I've been in my role as Director of College and Career Readiness for about 5 years. My predecessor, Sherry Lang, said if there was one group to get involved in, it was this particular group. So with that blind advice, I took that advice and have been very happy to be part of this group. I don't know if I'm skipping a question. You know, like one of the direct impacts I can think of this group and our students is we've had 2 students that have been awarded scholarships the past few years, which have absolutely been beneficial to them in their pursuing their post-secondary plans.
Show you a meme, but you'll have to.
Tim, or do you have anything you want to add to that? Or
I'm going to say, you know, obviously, I started my career as an educator in Ferguson School District, and that's where I was in the senior, exposed to multiple opportunities within the district. Became an administrator aware of the school district partnership. You know, in my time in the Athens School District as an assistant principal, we had students connected with presenting, and then, you know, once those caps started to evolve multiple districts in South Central County, it really provided a platform for CAPS to showcase the businesses, the capabilities that high school students had, if they were given an opportunity to, for lack of a better term, play in their sandbox and learn from current professionals. And it gave us an opportunity to grow as a program and create connections. But obviously, the return on the investment side of it is opportunities for students and to expose them to the networking opportunities and all of the different opportunities that speaking, presenting, engagement, it's just a great rich fertile ground for them to put into practice what they learn.
Right.
And I would agree. I was a classroom teacher that exposed to St. Louis Partnership by State Board. Went on a couple tours. I think we toured a couple of uni halls. And then I started implementing some of the things that I learned in my classes. Yeah. And then, you know, and then just trying to spread the good news about the opportunities for our kids. The tremendous opportunities for our kids, connecting kids with energy. So,
do you want to take some of this chicken stuff tonight?
Our game become a sponsored member. Because it benefits kids.
And for kids.
Do we have any comments or anything from Zoom? No? Okay, good. So Tanisha, I'll start with you. How are you or your students have benefited from your involvement in the partnership?
So like I said, at my first partnership meeting, I was able to talk to an organization. That organization was St. Louis Internship Program. And so when I worked in St. Louis Public Schools, I would see them every now and then. When I say them, I'm sorry, I would see Shanice and Danielle every now and then. But until one of the networking events, I didn't actually have a chance to sit down and learn more about St. Louis Internship Program. So it was really helpful for me to recommend it to students in St. Louis Public Schools. When I went to the Ferguson Florissant School District, I will say there are a lot of programs to help young people get opportunities. So it was great for me to have them already in the back of my mind knowing, and then to help students with the applications. And then now St. Louis internship program, Shanice is on the leadership team with the Regional Youth Employment Coalition. So it's been a really cool progression, and that's just one example. It's also been helpful to hear the sessions. So the networking is huge with organizations like SLIP. I remember a session that Kevin did, I believe, that was talking about different generations and what motivates people based on their generation and research. And so that conversation sparked another conversation with colleagues that I had. We also, when I was there with Dr. Muhammad, there was a presentation from Spire and one from the zoo. And so I will say, like, we all in this space know that it's not easy to make connections with industry, because once one business or organization has a work-based learning opportunity and everybody hears about it, they want their students to be part of it. So the partnership is helpful to hear the thought process and the planning stages and how everything is developed, so you can think about that with other partnerships that you're making for students. So it's helpful, one, to hear the organizations, two, to kind of debrief with colleagues to think about what moves to make to help young people, but also to hear the thought process and what steps are taken to establish partnerships with industry.
So in the 3 years of the Excel Center, in the first year, we were really just trying to get off the ground. And then all of a sudden we started having students graduate, and we weren't doing the industry recognized certification part, and we weren't getting them into the college. So since then, because of this partnership and the networking opportunities that I had, I have been able to partner with BJC. We've had Jennifer Irvin and another employee from there who's no longer there, but come and speak with our cornerstone classes. So when our students come in, we have them take a class to kind of get ready to be a student again, but also to do career exploration, and that's the biggest part. And so we've had different people come in to talk to our students about different career opportunities. Right now, we have about 80% of our students are women, and a lot of them are already interested in the medical field. And so some of them are already working as CNAs, but they're wanting to do more. And so we've had BJC come in and like talk about all the opportunities that are out there, because I don't think our students always know, even when we ask kids when they're in kindergarten what they want to be when they grow up, we don't ask that because they're grown up, but I think they don't know what they don't know, right? They don't have the exposure that we might think they should have. And so giving them that exposure is super important for them to really find a career that they're going to want to do. So we've had that. We also attended the presentation you saw here earlier, the little video clip. We had people from there in our school at that, so that they could learn about those other different options and see those other connections that were being made with the students and the industries. Something else I was going to say about that. So our students have, in a regular school, you have the guidance counselor. Our students have what we call life coaches, and they do the role of the guidance counselor, but they also they do a lot more, I think. But the students really get to know that life coach, and the life coach is a person who I keep sending to these meetings because I want them to connect with the students and help them figure out what that career is going to look like. And then we have college and career readiness counselors that are newest members of our staff in the last year. And so they are working with the students to get them enrolled in college if they want. So on Monday, we actually have a back to the books workshop, and some of our graduates are coming on to get the FAFSA filled out and sign up for St. Louis Community College. They're enrolling in college. And so had I not been on this board or been in this program, I wouldn't have had as easy a time of finding out who to contact to get that kind of information. And Brett was helpful in pointing in the right direction at one point. So we are now offering our first college course at our school. So we are doing the dual credit class, and in the spring we'll be offering 4 classes, college credit. So we've been able to partner with St. Louis Community College, I was going to also say there was another event that was maybe a year ago, and Jennifer from Ameren spoke, and she was talking about all the different opportunities, career opportunities through Ameren and the different fields. And so she and I are still in the works of trying to get Ameren to come in and bring some female workers to come in and talk with my students. So the more people that I meet, the more connections I can get, the more opportunities to share with my students all the careers that are out there, so that they can really see that the choices, that they have lots of choices, that they're not stuck. And so that's, I feel like my students have benefited because I've got several going to college. You mentioned, Diana, I have a student who just graduated in October, and he wants to be a painter. And earlier in the year, Diana connected me with the Kevin Harden from the Painter's Apprenticeship Program. And so I called him and said, hey, I have a graduate. I don't have very many men. Not that women don't want to be painters, but we haven't had that yet. But I do have a man who wants to be a painter, and I was very excited to get them connected. So that is some examples of how my students have benefited.
Does anybody want to share anything? John, Tim, Raheem? Nope. Okay, awesome. So the last question here is, what is the why or success of the partnership that keeps bringing you back? Go ahead, Nisha.
Hearing what JD just said actually reminds me of, so when I was working at Innovation School in Ferguson, Florissant, I told Diana, I was like, I have a group of students and they want to build tiny houses. Like, how can we do this? And I think it was in like within a week where Diana was like, I have a student who's in architecture, Wash U. I think your students would relate to him. And she made the connection. So it's not just Diana. I think that's the spirit of the partnership, where when you're talking to people, people are excited to help make connections for you. So that's one reason that I like to stay involved, because I like to, it's cool because the progression of my career now, I'm able to say, oh, I think you should talk to this person. So I think I'm getting to a point where I can make those connections too. So that's exciting for me. But also working with the Regional Youth Employment Coalition, I want to make sure that I'm thinking big picture about what's happening in our region. So I've kind of built the foundation blocks for the last couple of years, understanding like on a small level. And now I'm like thinking like, okay, what are the trends happening in healthcare? What are the trends happening in IT? So it's cool for me to keep coming back and hearing those things, because I think a lot of people don't know about all the good things that are happening. So with the school business partnership, it's cool because I'm like, okay, this has been happening. I didn't realize since 1991, the combined partnership. So it's cool to know the things that are already happening so we can build on those and help young people in the future.
So my why is kind of based on what I've already said, except that the first few years as a director, I came to these meetings and it was just me. And then I would come back and share that with some people on my staff. Now I have the Excel Center as a sponsor so that I can have all my life coaches and all my CCRs come and they can start making those connections. And so we can make our net much bigger, and the networking, and I think more students will benefit the more people I have there. Also, just recently I found out that I have quite a few students who aren't banked. I don't know if that's really the right word, but they don't have a bank. They don't have a checking account. And I know that we have a person on our board, Laura Muggy, who works for the Electro Savings. And so I was already thinking, like, I need to talk to her to see if there's someone from her company that could come in and maybe come to my school, and our students who need to get banked could maybe sit down and get that. So there's just always things that come up that I think somebody that I've met through this partnership can help me with. So that's why I keep coming back. And
I'll just say from the post-secondary side, my perspective, why I keep coming back to this, not because I don't like JD and John and everybody. It's, I think we see, we play such an important role at the community college in terms of that connection to workforce and credentials and that next step for students along their pathway. To be able to have conversations like, helping JD get connected so that she could start dual credit, the scholarship, like I've mentioned before, providing opportunities for students, even if they don't come to the St. Louis Community College, if they go somewhere else, there's opportunities there. Just from a post-secondary side, I think, just it's really important. I have yet to hear, and I'm sure there is somewhere, and there are great models around the country, but I have not found another model quite like the model that we have here in St. Louis that is doing the kind of connectivity work. KC has, we have this ecosystem here, STEM, KC's got a thing, but just this kind of a niche group that has people from like electoral savings, different school districts, different post-secondary. It's just a really unique group. And that to me is why I keep wanting to keep involved in this group. John or anybody else, do you have anything you want to add to the conversation?
I guess just to piggyback on that, there's been members that have been part of the group for a long time, but it's absolutely not static. It keeps evolving, and as new members come on, Brett and John have shared things with me that maybe they shared a number of years ago, but for me it's new, and we can keep that evolving where we are in our own situations. But as new members come on, we have access to resources and providing more connectivity among those individuals.
I have been around since 1991. I was I would say one of the businesses. At the time, it was Barnes Hospital. And I can tell you from Barnes Hospital to my team that Jennifer Urban is the workforce person now. We have had numerous young people that have come through our hospital doors. Well, I always say through the hospital doors that have been partnerships through the educators. So when we talk about the value of a company being involved, because all of you are educators, maybe you're not, but you're involved in education. And from an industry standpoint, I always see the value of having conversation with educators, because my brain immediately starts thinking about opportunities that we often don't think of, whether it's healthcare or whether it's in construction. So when I did the assessment, if you will, like tell me more, Tanisha, about the group, I already knew there was an architect. Again, the students are wanting to build a tiny house, mirroring it, and pulled up stories from our Construction Forum newsletter about the tiny house project that we helped get the wood for and the materials through our partnerships. And so knew right away what they were wanting to do, but then realizing they needed an architect or someone that was in that field to help coach and guide them through that project. So I always see, opportunities. I will tell you, the person, JD, you need to connect with for financial literacy is right next to you. She has a list of financial literacy people that will come and speak, and also banking. I just got that in the email a couple days ago. So it's 2 sheets of individuals that can come. These are the types of things that we have at our fingertips all the time. We have electrician, we have public utility, we have banking, we have restoration, we have, trying to think of all the businesses that I know that we have civic groups, we have St. Louis internship program, we have healthcare, we have community college, we have higher ed, we have construction, we have highway. We probably right now have 6 construction companies that are really actively and will be involved. We have almost every single school district, the city and the county, and 3 in St. Charles and 3 in Jefferson County. Love to have Rockwood School District. Used to be a partner, we are very much like the partners in education. So the 28 individuals that run or that facilitate all of that, think of this in a broader scale. We are volunteer folks. There is not a single, which is why I think it works very well. None of us are employed by the organization. The funding that we have truly just gets reinvested back out into the community and working with the youth. We have not been able to go golfing or what else.
No, you should speak for yourself.
Yeah.
I'm going Tuesday, I think.
So questions?
Hey, yeah, in the interest of time, go ahead, sir.
Very brief comment, I love the collaborative approach you have in student people on acting. I love the collaborative approach. This is something that we're looking for. It's great to see some familiar faces and then also similar efforts. Well, I've got the application on like this, but I have not been able to figure out how to navigate the website to actually make that payment. Maybe after we're done here, somebody can pull it up and show me exactly how to do that.
Can you go to the next
Go ahead and go to the
slide?
next slide. Well,
So this is our next event, and one more, please. So that's how to become a member or a sponsor. So just put /join-now. It'll take you right to that page. For some reason, Kevin, see, we're all volunteers. Kevin Andert has been the person that's doing our website, and it's static. You know, there's not much, it's go and look, but a lot of it, for some reason, there's been a little bit of an issue. So we're trying to get that fixed, if you will. But it's, you know, you just go through and click.
so can you go back one, just to highlight real quick, and I have to get to my session here in a second. Wednesday, November 17th, 9 to 11, we're at the Bark and Green Street building over in Tower Grove for kind of our first networking event, live networking event we've done in a couple of years now. So we're looking forward to seeing all of our friends and members and that sort of thing. You're welcome to attend that. And please, like Diana said, please consider, filling out the membership application. You can talk with JD, she's the treasurer, she handles the money. Yeah, so if you have a checkbook, she'll take it. I don't know what she'll do with it, but we'll see. Any other questions, comments, anything on Zoom? Do we have? Nope. Okay. Well, thank you for attending. Enjoy the rest of your day and your weekend, and hopefully we'll see you all soon.
I'll say this event actually is highlighting what Bark and what Green Street is doing well in terms of job shadowing. So people talk about construction, how can we get involved? Green Street is a construction building group, and so they have been working and doing shadowing and opportunities for young people. Bark is a brand new, it's truly a bar, but it's for, you can bring your animals. So I don't know if you read Business Journal, but they partner and have done a lot of community development. Let us know. You can look us up, contact us. I'm happy to help. Thank you for your time.
Are you leaving?
I haven't had much yet, so. What?
Maybe Kevin.